Drinking a coffee. Coffee break. It's coffee break. Are we live? Are we live? Can you hear me? I don't know. Drinking a coffee. Coffee break. It's coffee break. Oh, I'm speaking. Not to. Are we live? Are we live? Let me see the volume. Hear me? Let's go. Is the volume okay? The volume. Is the volume okay? Oh, I'm speaking. Not to. Yeah, I think it's okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's start. Let's start today's session. We're going to continue testing the edit view model, which is the. Let me make my app up and running to be to be a little easier to visualize this. Starting. The easy way right now is to run an iOS because I have an iOS connected to my. It's just a app that I use for testing purposes only. So it's a device that I use for testing purposes only. So this is why I like to test an iOS. Well, it would work on Android as well. And today we have to finish a couple tests here. Some tests I will just skip because they are not necessary. Meaning, they are not necessary because I'm already testing in the integration. So then the last session we test the functionalities of my view model, saving and changing payments. Look, I will show you what I mean by testing. The step is starting. Okay, we are here. So there's 4 tests that I written yesterday. 4 tests. There's 4 tests over here. Not just me. The Claude helped me write those tests as well. So give a credit to Claude as well. But yeah, this was the test. So the click in the, not click, but in this screen over here, when you change something, this is the bill information. So we have to change the price. And we also can change the due date. And when we press save, we have to choose between, because this change will affect payments. So we have to we choose between change all payments or just the current and future ones. Let's say I choose the change all payments. So every single payment in this app should now have the new value. Look, new value and the new payday. We cannot change the billing start date. Billing start date is when you start this billing cycle, but you can change the payday right now. So every single payment has the new values and the future ones as well. So we are in March currently, April now. So we're updated with this information. That's what we test. This was the functionality that we covered with tests. And with integration testing, this is the most important thing, which means this test is reliable. It's the most reliable version of test that we can have because I'm testing with in-memory fakes. A memory database, room database provide. And I'm testing the entire integration between components. So my use cases that are being used for this purpose of updating the payments, and all the interactions with the view model also being covered here. As you can see, like sending intents or events. In this case, I call events, but are intents, just like the user would do. And I test everything like this. This is how I like to test. Again, I don't like to rely too much on mocks, but I know the value for mocks and how they are practical. They're easier to get something already done. If you have nothing, it's better to use mock than spend too much time setting up this exactly scenario here, because it's take a lot of time to get to this point. But now it's time to test another functionality in my app, which is not a functionality, but a mechanic, which is the synchronization. Because, let me show you what I mean by that. This is, by the way, Claude suggestions. So we should test the events being emitted, like successful updates in queue sync event. So Claude detected that we had my view model has a synchronization mechanism. So let me show you where the place where we have to test. So after updating the bills and apply to the payments, this is the call that we have. What will we do? So I have two. I think I have two or one. I don't know. Yeah, I have two use cases. This one, but I'm not even using this anymore right now. It's the only one that I use actually, but it's okay. So I have this use case over here. This is the main use case, which is in charge of updating the bill and applying the changes to the payments. Either the current and futures, or all payments will be changed, or none of the payments could be changed as well, because this from could be null. So if this information over here, this day, month, and year is null, no payment will be updated, which means the only change was applied to the bill. That's the place where I do this. Okay, if this is not null, look, payments to update. If we got something from this, otherwise it's empty list, and we're gonna pass empty list to this data source over here, and the data source will be in charge of trying to update this, and that's it. And this is all only going to happen locally. This is a local data source. After that, we have to synchronize the data. We have to send this data to the backend, so we have this information sync with our backend in other devices, in the same information in other devices. So how will we do this? Is by listening to this do if successful. Success, this is just a extension function, not extension, inline function for this. It actually is extension function. It's an extension function to this resource class that I created, but this is redundant because Kotlin already has a much better class called result that has more helper functions to deal with this type of data, the data that could be successful or a failure. But then here I have this do with success. I'm using this. This is I didn't put this in my to-do list, but if I start over, of course, I'm not gonna write this version myself. I will use Kotlin results class instead of this. But anyway, after the successful changing the data successfully, we have to pass the data to this event sync queue that I have. This is another class that I have here, which is just emulate a queue data structure. First in, first out data structure. So this event enter here, we have to send this to the remote to the backend. So that's what we do. Just enqueue this data that we just updated. Just grab the return and convert to this to sync event. We're just converting the data type to this actually. Okay. It's the events that I want to send to my backend. And we're going to test this right now. Okay. And the test that we are passing this to this enqueue, and how we're going to validate if we have the correct data and being queued. I think that's how we say it, right? The data being queued. Queue. Let me just check real quick how to run. That's what I'm trying to say. In English, guys. English. Oh my God. English. Line up. Line up. Yeah, could be. It's not it's not what I want to say, but yeah. If we have the correct data in this queue data source. Because this is a this is a queue. Look, you have all the common methods a queue data structure has. So in queue, peek, remove, clean, all this good stuff. And this is the class they implemented. So we use my database. We use room to save the data that we have to send to the backend. And another class will use this, but this is beyond the scope of this video, man. I just wanted to explain that we have a class that's enqueuing events and to send those updates later to the backend. And how are we going to test this? That's the question. Here, Claude suggests to test like this: successful update in queue sync event. So given a valid build update, so the scenario over here, one of those scenarios where we update the build correctly, when update completes successfully, so after completing the update, how will we check this? Yeah, just finish on close. I think on close in this state. When sync event is in queue, then sync event is enqueued with the action update. Let me see how to pronounce this. Enqueued. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm going to.
Enqueued.
Enqueued. Nice. That's exactly how I'm pronouncing. Let's see. How are we going to validate this? Real quick. Let's get this over with. First thing, we have to simulate a insertion, right? A update. So I'm going to I won't change this one. I will do the same thing that I was doing here. Just copy and paste this. We don't need to go over typing this entire stuff. Let me see. Let me put over here. First, successful enqueue sync. So init. I'm using this helper function I just created because it's kind of repeating myself over and over again. So I just put over here to make my functions a little shorter. But here we just initializing a build and passing this to our saved state handle. Yeah, save state handle that will be used by our view model. View model will load this, and then what we're gonna do after loading, we're just gonna change the price of the payments that we have. Actually, of the bill, we're gonna change the price of the bill. Just validate it. If you just change, I don't need to validate anything actually. I mean, this is redundant. We don't need this part. Given, I can remove this comment as well. I can remove this and I can remove this. That's it. We are good here. So we're gonna change the bill. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is just save. Let me see. I'm not gonna run save. Actually, not gonna run save. I will skip this because we are in a unit test. I don't. The order that the user will follow is saving, and then user will be present a dialog to choose between change everything or change only the current payment in the next ones. But in this example, what I'm gonna do is I will skip this and on apply to all payments. I think let me think about this. On apply to future payments. All payments. Let's do the all payments. So I'm skipping. So here I will just ignore the event and saving, applying everything. So just saving, applying changes to all payments. Right away, just changing the payment and apply everything to all payments. I think I can do this as well. Look, I can do this. Send two events and send two events to the database, to the view model at once, and skip two items. So we can do this. Let me see. Oh, this changing bill, and applying to all payments. That's what we are doing here. Just give it a space, and then this one over here will trigger. Let me see how many events this will trigger. Just make sure. Yeah, this one will trigger a new update, saving, and then after everything went well, we're gonna meet the last submission, the last event, which is can close true. So just let me check the can close true. So the next item we want to check is true. Let me change this. Can close. That's how we tested this scenario. Just saving and make sure that everything is consumed. But just to check whether or not this is running correctly, just do the fail scenario, which should fail. This should be true. Let's see if the test will run as expected. I think it will. I think it will. Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Okay. Six. Let's go. Another 6 sips. Uh, 12 sips. This is my first bottle, by the way, of the day. I'm failing in my goal of 3 bottles per day. But let's see. Yeah, that's not good. This is not what I was expecting. So no value produced in 3 seconds. So let's see. So here we were waiting for something, but we didn't receive anything. I think we cannot do this. So let me make sure. I think we cannot skip 2 things here. I have to skip one at a time. So let's see, skip one and skip another one. Okay? And then I will wait for the final. Let's see if that's the case. This is what's... Oh, I tried. Make no... I mean, it's harder to read this version over here. Like, skipping two after two actions. It's better to read like this. Do an action and skip. Another action and skip the emission. But I don't know. Yeah, that was the problem. We cannot skip. We cannot do an action and then two actions consecutively. Jesus, I don't know how to say this. And I don't know how to say this in Portuguese either. Neither in Portuguese. Let me see. Yeah, I cannot do it consecutive, but I wanted to do it. I'm sorry. Consecutively. Yes, this is the word that I would try to say.
Two consecutive actions.
Consecutive. Cannot do two consecutive actions.
Two consecutive actions.
Consecutive actions. I think in American pronunciation, United States pronunciation is consecutive, but it should be consecutive. Consecutive. Okay, two consecutive actions, and then skip both actions is not allowed. That's it. So now we got the failure that I was expecting. Here we should have validating to true. Let's change this true. And now is the good part, right? In short, all events are consumed, like no more emissions from this view model. And here inside of this test scenario over here, we can just check the sync the sync data source. Data source. How are we going to do this? So let me import the sync over here. This is a nice thing about dependency injection. I can just import the sync event. Sync event data source. Is it remote? No. Sync event local. Do we have a sync event local data source? I think I do have it. I sync. Let me take a look, guys, real quick. Syncing queue. So this is the thing that we need. That is implemented by this guy over here. So this is what I need actually. No, we don't have a sync local data source. Have this event sync. So event sync queue. That's what we need. That's the thing that we're going to inject, and our dependency injection will take care of this. And the nice part of this that I'm using this game from the common, not the common, but this is the same dependency injection that we are using in production. That's why I love integration testing, because now the only thing that will be replaced is this database over here will be replaced in the test version. So we are using the same how they call this contributor, the same collaborator component. It's the same component, but it's called collaborator. So what we're doing here is just what we're gonna do is sync. So let me see. Event. Look how we test this. Event. Event should be like this. Sync. Event sync. Pick. So assert, not null, first of all. non-null event. First of all, should not be null. And another assertion is assert equals to what we're gonna do here. Let's see, event. We have ID, we have action. So action equals to update. That's good as well, but I'm still not certain that we have the correct data. That's the thing, right? That should not be in this test. I think I do too much validations in a single test. This is a bad side of my approach. Like, look, let's run this. Let me make this wrong create. And let me try this because I wanted to also confirm that the data we are sending that is in queue is in fact the bill information with the payments. Look, it's create. So this is the expect failure, and now we change to update because this is correct. We are updating, not creating. And another thing that I want to check is, the data, right? So I don't know, should I convert this data from JSON to, let me see. Yeah, I cannot do it. I don't have a way to do it. But yeah, it would be nice to have to be able to check the correct data that we just saved. Let me think. I could do it. I think it's overkill, but will prevent. I'm not gonna need to do this later. I like to do it over here already. It's not that big, Isn't that big. Isn't that long. This function. There's we have some room to put some data validation here. Let me see where I have this remote. So we have this price. This is my in-memory network layer. And here we have this. We also make this convert the stuff. Look, JSON, the code from string. It's just this that I need. And let me see if this is gonna be overkill or not. This is gonna be nice. Look, I think what I want is just something like this. Look, JSON and bill. It's not gonna be bill. DTO will be change this to bill with payments DTO. Not good, right? But let me see. The JSON bill with payments, and the data that we have to pass here is this event data, event payload. Just use the payload to validate the I don't know, data. Bill with payment, yeah. We can do this bill with payment. Bill with payment. This is the information we are trying to send to the database. So just let me check if this bill with payments is equal to this. Bill with payment. Let's see, events not null. Okay, we could skip everything that is here. Just use this. I could do this. This is also bill with payments. Let see bill payments. Bill payments. This is outside here. This is inside. Let me check how we can do this. Response. I'll call this response. Assert equals expect expect to be bill with payments bill, I don't know, ID or something like this. Has to be the same as response bill ID. Okay, this actual, this is expect in actual. In here is this, I have to change this order, so this is a actual thing. And this over here is the expect thing, right? Let me just put it over here, actual. This is over here is expect. Look, that's how I like it. Here we're validating that we actually have the data send, actually have the correct data stored in our queue. Assert this is equal, and another assertion that what I want is just expect a bill with payments, payment size, so same size, actual, response, payments, size. Two things should be equal. Let me, I don't know, change this to another thing just to break this test real quick. Some number here. Let's run this. Let's see if we're going to get some failure, expect failure. Update. Nice. So bill ID should be a response. Bill ID. Size, I think this is good, but maybe for this scenario we are expecting, as we are changing everything, we expect 3, not the same size but 3. I think it's better to just no, not actual, man. Come on. So expected. Should the array be the same? Maybe. How about that? Yeah, no. They are not the same. The ID should be the same, but the expected 3, the size of this. Key event. Let me think about this. Can I destruct this because I have 2 things, bill and payments? Can I do it? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I can destruct this class with properties. Can I? Let me see. I don't think so. Bill, payment. Oh my god. Bill. Oh my god. We can destruct this. That works. much better. You're just grabbing the wrapper class and just using the two properties directly. Make the code more, better. So yeah, that's it. We assert that the event. Just grab this. I think this. I would do the assertions. Okay, let me just force this. I can force. I don't. Yeah, I don't need to check if it is no. This is redundant. If the test should break. If this is no, should break. I'm not gonna test it. If no, it is not null. So we grab the event. We convert everything. Just check the event if everything is well. It's update, and then we check whether or not we have the same ID in this bill. It's the same ID that we had it, and if we are sending 3 payments to be updated. That's what we do. So given a valid bill updates, this could be a valid bill update. Let me change this. Given a valid bill update, when complete successfully. So it could be this one over here. When update complete successfully. So this is an actual can close. We don't have any error. What we do? Then sync events is in queue with the update. And that's what we do. And we'll have some extra testing here just to make sure the data that we are sending is the correct one. Let's run it. And then I will ask, after that, I'm going to ask Claude to just generate the remaining, if necessary. Yeah, we pass. So here, can close true. Successful update sets can close to true. Yeah, this is already covered in this test over here, so we don't need this one. Let me see if I want to do another one that we are in queuing. Correct. Update error sets error message to stop saving. So update error sets error message and stop saving. That's good. So let's see what Claude will do for this test over here, because then this test is not in any way close to what I'm doing right now. So this is so we're going to force an error. So I believe Claude will use some mock or stuff. Let's see. Started. So the name is finish test. First thing we need to bet. Oh my God, we need so we need to pass. We need 2 arguments. The path. Yeah. Finish test. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I like this because they prevent me to make mistakes. So this is the path, the entire path of the test. And the second thing that Claude needs is the test that I want to generate. That's it. 2 things best. Let's see what Claude's gonna do. This one. Let's see if it's gonna be a good job. Could be because of my command that the limitations also could influence in how good Claude generate the tests. Also my model, the model that I have access. Any factors could be influence the performance of the Claude performance regarding the testing. Let's see. Perfect. I can see update apply, looking for test partners, patterns. Looking at the code, I need to find a way to trigger an error. A common scenario, let me see. Yeah, it's thinking. Common scenario would be trying to update build that doesn't. Let me check if the other similar error test pattern in the code base. I can see there is a test stub. Let me see. Apply change. I would see this later. Let me see. Update name on save. Stub can close given. Oh, it's just closing the database. No. So it's forcing an error by closing the database. That was smart. I don't know if I like that. Let's see. That's good. Not bad. And it is not working. Let me see what's going on here. Not logger implementation. What's going on? If Java no value produced. Let me see what Claude did. On save. Skip 2 and then skip 1. This should be correct. But I think because Claude closed the database, we have no emissions. So Claude starts closing the database after the emissions, right? Let me think. Yeah, that's wrong. We're not gonna be able to emit anything because then the first time we start listening to this state flow, we're not going to have two emissions. We have one emission with error. Let me think. No, the initial emission and the last emission. No more emissions. And you're going to try to do this. You have an error already. And then you will try to change the name on save. Let's change. Let me see. Let me assert this. Assert search equals to what I'm expect something. I don't know. And what we're gonna take here is the. Oh my God. Width. Let me do width. Await item. What I'm going to do here is just I'll check the second emission because second emission must have an error because the database is not working. What we did is just we were trying to retrieve the data from the database, which is not working. Okay, so that's why. Let me remove this, man. Just stop this thing because it will. Here, I don't know, and it's gonna be the error message. Should be equal to, I don't know, but this will fail because the message should be another thing. Let's see if this is the case. This is where Claude went wrong. Closing the database before doing retrieving data. Should be after retrieving the data correctly. So let's see, still no emissions. Yeah, closing the database definitely is causing this problem. we should now be closing the database. This is first error. Yeah, rewrite this. We tried the same test. But without closing the database. The database. You can try to use mocks. Let's see. Yeah, was not a good. I tried the same test, but without closing the database. You can try to use mocks. This is how I want to use Claude, and this I always struggle. I'm in play mode, so explore the code base, understand, implement the test using mocks instead of closing the database. Let me investigate how mocks is set up in the project and find the best approach. Because we want to force an error. You can suggest another thing if you like it. I don't know. Yeah, depends how you use your. I guess depend how you use your Claude code. But yeah, this is a serious business. I need you to force an error. I don't know. This is pretty wrong. It's not a good. Let me just change this to the same thing that Claude was doing. Claude was doing this, and that's okay. An update error should. Let's see, 2 events. Skip 1. Let's see if this is at least this code will run. I have to fail here because error is null if everything went well. On save. Yeah, actual value is null. This is okay now. What were broke in the test was the closing the database. Let's see. Investigating how mocking is set up in project and find the best approach. Okay, still investigating. And it's too much time. Too much time. Let me think. I wrote a plan. Let me see the plan. How you will do this. Okay, blah, 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 blah. We have a new thing over here. Update, bill, apply, payments. What are you going to do? We have a function here that will return a mock. This is no longer used. We don't need this anymore. Override true. It's not going to work, but okay, mock. Update bill, apply changes. An error occur when trying to bill payments. This is good. This is a mock version. And here, what we're gonna do is just change. But how are you going to load this? Commands before use save state. How are you going to do this? Add a mock module function to common test module. Okay, this is the guy. It's not gonna work. Let's I will remove him. Okay, already removed. Mockery pattern. I'm using Mockery, by the way. Is a Kotlin Multiplatform mocking class. Mocking library, perm matching, override modes. Yeah, override is not necessary. You can tell Claude too. Let's see. No. Just write. Just write the changes and let me manually run test. The have to load. Yeah. Thing that we have to do is loading another module. Exit mode will make. Okay, let's go. Which you prefer, both? Let's go. Play mode and implement changes. Perfect. I will implement the changes now. Common module. Let's see what we're going to add in common module. Apply. Common test module. Yeah, this is the place to add this. Yeah, apply. This is not gonna compile. Good. Common test module. Yes, as I thought. Just get this over with. So we'll suspend. Yeah, apply. I have a test over here. Let me see how you will change this test. Because this module should be loaded, but I don't want it to replace the use case. This module should only be loaded by this test over here. Yes, nice. Really smart. Load coin module just for this one. Load mock that returns error. Pretty good stuff. I like it. So can run. Let's run it. Let's see what we got. Claude. It's getting smarter. Yeah, we got an error here. No value made it. So let me understand what's going on here. So we are reloading this. That's good. And then we're skipping. It's not on save actually, right? On save would not do anything. I think this is why the test is failing. Is this one over here? All apply to all payments. This is another thing Cloud get wrong because it has to skip save just like I did in this test over here. Getting a valid update, and then we have the scenario here. So yeah, I got confused on this. Let's see. Let's test this manually because I don't want to. Let me test. Yeah, I should let Claude test it and figure out by itself. Well, that's what's the mistake. I will let the next time. What? No value emitted? Why? Set save to true. No. We don't need this. Can skip this as well. So then, let's try again. One more time. No, because this will emit the last event. Should be an error. No. Yeah, not Yeah. This we made an event. That is an error. Apply change. So this will emit. We skip this. We change, skip, and then apply changes. Well, this is weird. Actually, this is weird because. That's weird. You know why? Because this over here will we made apply change to all payments. We made a loading state actually saving false. No. Let me check how we do this. Yeah, this is a mission. Propagation and saving false. Apply changes. And then after applying the changes, apply changes to payments. We're gonna run this. We're gonna update with the message and save state false. But why we didn't emit this guy over here? No. That's strange. We should emit this first. Let me check what's going on. So update name, just emit one change, and then this will yeah, that's weird. No. This should be skip one item, which is the start, and then we have the second item over here. That was right. Why? I don't know. Skip 2, loading state, and then we're going to find a bill. Assert. The only way this could be true is that this one over here, updated name. Let me think. Apply changes. Yeah, this should be true. Weird. Let me see, apply. I love the cloud create this one. Update and apply changes mocked. I love this. I don't have to do this. But we have a problem here. When update complete with error. Yeah. Let me check if the message is what we are expecting. Error message not null. I don't want to check this. I want to check the error message. Assert equal expected. I expect the mock conversion and error core update payments. This may should become from the use case. Exactly. Let's see if this is the correct message. Skip this. That's weird. Let me try again. Error emissions. Oh, this is correct? You sure? Are you sure? Let me see. Oh, this is a false positive. Let me see. It's correct. And when we run this, we lost one of the missions, so we don't have a time. I think could be something like this, man. It could something like so fast that we're just updating. But so we're going straight to this one over here, make the changes and run it and receive an error right away. And we have just one remission. Could be it. Could be it. You're skipping one mission. Apply to all payments. Apply to all payments. Update. Could be a hit. Not sure. Save. We are all running in the scope. Yeah, we should have had this mission going. Can we do a suspend? Do a delay or something here. Invoke. Can do delay. Delay. Let's see if we put a delay here in the vocation, like one. I'll make sure, because could be it. In this mock, we have to put some timing, so the coroutines get time to update the state, emit. Let's see. Now we have an error. Refactory, what's going on here? Could not create. Jesus Christ. What I did. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's not here, right? Returns. Yeah, mockery. So, every suspend. Do we have some delay thing? Return. Returns value. Put the value already. I just want a little delay in execution. Invoke. This. Apply. Do a mock. We'll create a mock over here. How can I add a delay? Execution of the mocked update bill and apply to payments use case. Let me see. This is exactly what I did. Oh, calls. Oh, I have this calls. Oh my God. That's what we do it? Let me see if this is gonna work. Calls. This is a block. a call, suspend function call executes. Key replace return call. We use lambda block instead of value delay. Let's see if this is gonna give me the result that I am expecting. Because I think that's the problem with mocks, right? There's no real operation. Look, now we are getting where I want it. That's the problem. Is the mock. Look, always we have to skip. Let's see if we can do Control Z and you see what Control Z here. I think we are good here. Control. No. We could do it. Come on. Good. Control Z. Skip one. I think this. Look. Setting saving to true. So skipping this, right? We could validate this, right? Instead of skipping with a wait item. Assert equals expect true. Is saving. That's what we want. Exactly what Claude did, but we need the delay here. Then UI, and then after this, we're gonna save this using the mock version that the Claude created, and then we will have a not null error message, and the save should be false. This is pretty good. Let's see. We should got this correctly. Now it should work. Yup. Nice. That's what's the thing. So let's save with no changes, set close immediately. So yeah, that's the next one we're gonna to ask Claude to finish up. Oh, this is kind of, yeah, I'm not liking too much my this command, like finish. Let me see, finish testing. Finish tests. I have to specify. I just want to specify the name rather than have to pass the entire, because test names are unique, right? I hope so. I have to pass it here and also the test name. It's kind of boring. I have to tweak a little more this command to make it easier to use. Like just finish this test. Yeah, this one I'm going to do. Only parameter is the test name, and the Claude has to search for. Okay. Oh yeah, Claude is in the play mode. Let me change to the not play mode anymore. This was the easy one, right? This was the easy one. Let's see. Initialization, skip to the two events, just the way we like it. On save. Yeah. The next should be, we didn't change anything on save. Expect to can save. We have nothing. Yeah, that should be it. That should be run. That should run correctly. I think that's it. I think we covered everything we wanted. There are some tests missing, but yeah, I'm not going through this. Yeah, this is an easy test. On save handled be passing. What? Oh, this is the thing that I created. Okay, that's good. That's good. We finished all the edit view of testing, but there are other places where I got some tests to do it. I honestly, I don't think I need it. Look, update payments. Too much tests here. Oh, propagate, Bailey. I have two options. I think I should separate both. I don't know. Because the way I have my command right now is just if if I pass, okay, I have to change my command. Well, this over here is something that I'm not sure that I want to test. Update payments or after start. This is the use case test. Bill update. Yeah, I'll just remove this one. I'm not gonna test this right now. Delete this. Update payments also another. Yeah, test this that I know that I'm not going to cover right now. Maybe we'll have another places with some missing testing. It's certainly missing. No, yeah, must be in some places where I did use mapper. Yeah, we don't need this. Bill. I think we have some missing testing here. And the build data source. Update in transaction. Yeah, those are kind of fallback scenarios. This is good. Good testing. Good testing. It's going to be later. I'm not going to spend too much time on this anymore because I think I'm done with testing for now. I'll let the test there. Yeah. I think we are done. We're testing for today. Not for today, but for a while because I think I already covered the view model with tests. This is for me, the most important part is to go cover the view model with testing. Bill payments, mapper. Yeah, I'm sorry, man, I gotta write tests for you. Let me show you mapper. Just delete this entire stuff. Yeah, I should have get rid of that test a while ago, but now I'm not sure which places have missing testing. This is a good place. This is a test that I like it. Sort bills, and I have to tweak a little bit my clouds to when I want it, just pass the test name, and that's it. And sometimes saying also the entire file, just cover the missing testing, for instance, So I don't have to keep specifying which test I want. Just cover everything. Let me see. I think we are good for today. Come on, I have two cloud. Oh my god, I have two cloud open. That's crazy. Bye, Claude. Thank you. So what we got? So we delete some stuff. Bill payment. Delete. No need this. And we're going to change something. Okay, come in. Add more tests to add a view model. That's good. Push, and that's it. We're done. Okay. Next feature we need for this app, and okay, we have a bunch of stuff right in the app right now, but I still missing one thing because it's right over here. First of all, yeah, I will change the. Let me change something like this. I will change the order that this is being displayed. I don't know if I like this pop-up. Actually, let me show you the one that I have here. So if I change a payment information, a single payment information, we are presented with this pop-up. It's the same one, right? Update only this one, this, and the next ones. Okay. Oh, this is the order. So this entry repeats in other dates. What would you like to do? What would you like to do? Update only this one. This is another one. So I have some behaviors in his screen that I don't like too much. This one, for instance, this also paid. If I press paid, this pop-up should not be presented because this is stupid. Just saying that it's paid. Of course, I don't want it to update every single one. It's just only this one, always. It should be the same operation as it is for the item, like this. Clicking in the item, mark the item as paid, should be the same as just changing here and saving. The only time this should be presented is when I change the value, and then should ask if I just want to change this to specifically payment or the next ones should be updated with this information. Not allowing the old payments to change because I already marked. And if I'm not if I'm here, for instance, in this month over here, another thing happened. If I change this, what should happen? Should I present like this? Update only this one. This is the next ones. Could be all the next ones from this payment from that point. For this time, we should update everything. So this is require a little more work and a little more testing as well. This is the part that is not working correctly right now, but for the payment, for the bill updates, everything's working smoothly, and I love it. Just have to work a little more in this screen over here, and I think we are going to be done to release this and start working on iOS, shipping the beta testing version to iOS, because this is in beta for Android, but I don't have this in the iOS store. But thankfully, I already have I was accepted to be a developer, iOS developer. I was accepted accepted membership, develop membership. I was able to enroll to the Android iOS development program. That's what I meant as a company. And I have to deal with this later. But yeah, this is what will be my next step. Fixing this page over here. And I also change the order of this message because consolidate this, right? And then about the design, I will I'm going to ask Claude to came up with a better design, or Figma, do some work with the I think MCP, Figma MCP or something like that, just to give me some generated design and help me to improve this. Or ask for a person, a human, to came up with a nice system design for this app. I'm willing to pay for it. Yeah, no problem at all. I'd rather deal with humans than with AI, but for the time being, this could be a good option, just to delegate this to the AI to just give me a better layout, because I have some parts in this layout that I don't like it. But anyway, that's it. This is for today's session. Nice testing coverage, I believe. I like this way to test. We'll do a little more testing later. This is a nice tweak. This is a nice workaround. Today was nice. It was a good session. So that's it. See you in the next next session. Just give him a. I just I was like my brain's not working correctly anymore. Okay, bye bye.